Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha. Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Kalaye Sundarakaram Sadaika Priyadarshanam. Ajnana Nashakam Devam Sadgurum Muralidharam. Yasya Smaranamatrena Jikhvayam Vardate Swayam. Mahamantrastam Bhajami Muralidhara Deshikam. Premamritam yo murali ninadehi Shri Krishna rupena puravarsha. Adyapi soyam muralidharakhyo pushnati premna bhuvanam saharsham. Kirtite tu mahamantre tatra virbhuya takshanam. Suprasanno bhavedyastam premika varadam bhaje. Murali mandita karakamalam munijanam mohanam. Vyatyastapadam vanamala darinam. Prema Bhakta Mandala Nitya Kirtitam Premika Varadam Ashrayeham Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranamo Dukkha Shamanaha Tam Namami Harim Param Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Greetings, friends. Delighted to join you all again in another session of Answers and Beyond. Koti pranams at the holy feet of Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Maharanyam Sri Sri Muralidhara Swamiji, by whose boundless grace I've been blessed with this opportunity. Thank you all for joining in, and a very big thank you to our Singapore Namadwaar group for organizing this lovely satsang series. The question that I will take up today is a question that I've received from a friend who visits our Singapore Namadwaar. This is how it goes. I believe in prayers, and I keep repeating my prayers almost every day to the Guru and God. Will they get irritated by my repetition? Can you throw some light on this? The essence of the question is this: I have prayers and I keep repeating them over and over again. I keep doing it. Will God or Guru, who are the ones that I'm addressing these prayers to, will they get irritated? Will they get annoyed because of the fact that I'm repeating it again and again? To put it very simply, and as a devotee of our Guru Maharaj, I will tell you that Guru Maharaj never ever feels so. I've seen it many a time. Mahatmas, Bhagwan, they are the very personification of compassion and patience. And they never get annoyed or irritated because of the fact that we are repeatedly asking our prayers. We will go into this answer in greater depth and recall a few nice incidents that come to my mind when I think of the answer to this question. Guru Maharaj would always say that sometimes the manner in which life is unfolded and this journey has taken us, we have lost sight of simple things in life. We have forgotten the importance of simple things in life. We look for complex solutions. This is especially true in the case of making prayers to God. Guru Maharaj would say, for a child to ask something of the father, the parent, the only qualification that the child needs, if I may say so, is the fact that he or she is the child to that parent. I need not have a particular educational qualification. I need not have a particular financial status. I need not be a very intellectually strong person. I need not be a very smart person. I don't have to possess great virtues and qualities. All I have to understand and realize is that this is my father, this is my mother, and as a child I have the liberty to ask. This is what Guru Maharaj would say, and he would say, keep this in mind when you think of praying to God. We tend to look for complex solutions, especially when things have gotten complicated. We look for many different ways and means to solve problems in a worldly sense, and also, say, by way of many rituals and very elaborate procedures and whatnot. They all have an effect. I'm not talking about that part. I'm merely underlining the importance of prayers. Guru Maharaj would say the simplest thing to do is to remember that God has given us the right to ask, because He is our Father, He is our Mother. And all I have to do is believe in that and ask. Simply cry and ask. And that is really what a prayer is. And when we ask, when a child asks the Father and creates a tantrum, sheds so much tears, to the point where the child is going to get breathless and blue, the Father, in a sense, only enjoys the fact that the child is asking him. It's not as if he's going to think that, why is he doing this, and get annoyed. Because this is a sign of love. It's a sign of the liberty that exists between the child and the parent. When that's the case with us, imagine how it will be when it comes to God. God is full of compassion. The Guru is nothing but Kripa, the personification of that mercy, that kindness, and that love. And when we ask Him, and even if we ask Him repeatedly, He only feels more compassionate, He only feels happy, so they never feel otherwise. I'm reminded of this incident that took place at ashram many, many years ago in the holy presence of Guru Maharaj. I distinctly remember that it was an Ekadashi day. For those of us who've been to the ashram on Ekadashi, I'm sure you'll be able to picture how the scene would be. For the others, I'm sure very soon we will have darshan of Ekadashi at the ashram. But to give you a very brief idea, a lot of devotees and friends from far and wide would gather at ashram in the morning on Ekadashi day, because Sri Swamiji would be there. He would do puja to Madhuri Saki Sameda Sri Premika Varadan, and he would bless all with Tirtha Prasadam, and he would also, during that occasion, interact with every single friend that has come. People come for different reasons. There's some that come for spiritual uplift. There's some that come for guidance in their spiritual path. There's some that come with prayers. There's some that want to say, submit an invite, like a wedding invite or a housewarming invite, and get it blessed by Swamiji. So there's all kinds of people that gather at the ashram on that day. We literally thousands of them. It was one such Ekadashi, and it was in the month of February. I remember this very specifically because there were lots of students. They were either students or parents, and all of them had the exam hall ticket with them to get it blessed by Guru Maharaj, because exams were a month or so away. I remember those days because exam time is the one time that as a student I got really pious, and I would go to the temple very religiously with so much of focus. Everybody from the flower vendor to the fruit seller would know that the exams are nearby. They would even taunt and ask, "Pariksha vandhirukku pol irukke, Exams are nearby, around the corner. I can see it from your face. The rest of the year, you don't show up here that much. But this month, I know you're going to be here, making all the sincere prayers to God. So you could see lots of such exam hall tickets at the ashram on that day. And after the puja, while Swamiji was giving Tirtha Prasadam, there's a huge queue of people. The line is very long, but very patiently, Sri Swamiji would interact with every person. It's a very beautiful and unique sight to watch, because the amount of time that he would have spent since very early in the morning, because the day begins very early. The puja itself would take nearly 2-3 hours, and then after that, for all of this to finish, it would nearly take at least 6 hours, 6 to 7 hours at times, depending on the number of people that come, and he would just be right there all through with the same energy, the same patience, and the same smile. It's a beautiful sight to watch, something that is possible only for someone like himself to do. Just by merely being there would tire us out. Watching all of this would tire us out. But you should see how Guru Maharaj personally attends to every single person. So after the puja, Guru Maharaj was giving Tirtha Prasadam. It was already a good 90 minutes. There was this gentleman who came at that time. He had a bag with him. The moment he came near Guru Maharaj, he received the Tirtha Prasadam and told Guru Maharaj, my child is appearing in the board exams that are going to happen in about 3 weeks' time. I seek your blessings for good performance, good marks. And Guru Maharaj immediately nodded, affirmative, and he gestured very gently with his hand. It's a very beautiful manner in which he gestures. He would usually touch his heart like this, and he would say, and he would nod. It's a very comforting feeling if you have witnessed it, especially when you come there carrying the burden of a lot of problems and a lot of questions in mind. When you see that, it gives you that immense sense of relief, an assurance that why should I worry? All of this is nothing, because like the sun, he's sitting here. And these are just these clouds, and they would just go away. That feeling comes instantaneously when you look at his countenance and when he gestures. So he did that. Your child will do well, will come out in flying colors. I will pray to Bhagwan for the same. He would always say that. He would always say, I will pray to Bhagwan. I will pray to Premikavaradhan. That is his usual way of addressing. We thought it was over and the man was going to move past, but he did not. He immediately opened his bag. I could see what's in the bag from where I was standing, because it was rather close. And in there was like a good 150, 200 pens. It's like he has wiped out the stationery store in his town and he has brought all of it, different brands, different sizes and shapes, and he showed it to Guru Maharaj, and Guru Maharaj looked at the pens and very seriously asked him, so are these for the entire class where your child is studying? And he wanted to also say a prayer for all of them. Our friend replied, no, it is for my child only. At this point, Guru Maharaj broke a smile. He said in Tamil, இவ்வளோ பேனா வச்சு உன் குழந்தை மட்டும் பரீட்சை எழுதுறதுக்கா? All these pens are for just one student to write an exam? The man explained, no, in case pen 1 fails, I have a backup, pen 2. If that fails, I have the backup to the backup, pen 3, and it goes on. I want to make sure that nothing goes wrong. Guru Maharaj again gestured very patiently. All right, the exam will go fine. I will pray to Bhagwan. He wouldn't stop. What he did after that was he picked all of them and he took them very close to Guru Maharaj, menacingly close. like it was going to poke him. He wanted Guru Maharaj to physically touch the pens. I appreciate his sincerity in the prayer, not saying anything to undermine it, but it's almost as if grace or the blessings will not travel through space or air. There has to be physical contact. That is the thought process. It has to be touched physically. Guru Maharaj has been sitting there for nearly 4 hours since morning. It's been nearly 1.5 hours since this line started, and there's still a long way to go. Everybody was getting impatient, but Guru Maharaj did not. He touched the pens with both hands. And then our friend left. A good 30 minutes later, the line was still going on. It was still not over. When I turned, I saw 3 or 4 people after this same friend was standing there. The same bag. For a moment I thought maybe he forgot something, maybe he left something, he's come to collect it. I wanted to ask him, but before that he was already right next to Guru Maharaj. And this is what happened afterwards. He started the same story all over again as if it was happening for the first time. My child is appearing in the board exams, Guru Maharaj, I want your blessings. For a moment, I thought, what is going on? This is like deja vu. Did I already see what was going to happen a little before in time? Because strange things happen in the presence of Mahatmas. But no, he was actually there a second time. He was repeating the same prayer in the same tone, in the same order. We were all getting a bit impatient because there's lots of people waiting. But Guru Maharaj again said the same words. He said, do not worry. He gave a reassuring prayer. He said, do not worry. Your child will do well. I will pray to Bhagwan. And then after that, he did the same thing. He picked all the pens and he pointed at Guru Maharaj a second time. Like he wanted him to touch the pens again. Repetition of prayers. That's the question, isn't it? I completely lost it. I thought, what do we do to get him out of this line quickly? But Guru Maharaj at this point of time did something very unusual. What he did was, he turned back towards Premika Varadan, because he was sitting at the sanctum. And after a few seconds, he looked back at our friend and he told this friend, Premika Varadan wanted me to convey something to you. Shall I? He says, odd numbers are good and even numbers are not so good. I was very surprised when Guru Maharaj said something like that, because he typically does not do all of this number game and all of that. And he said it with a very serious expression. I was trying to make sense out of it, as was our man. Then Guru Maharaj explained, odd numbers are good. Odd numbers means better grades, better rank, good outcome. Even numbers means low grades, not such a good outcome. If I touch once, it is odd number, 1, odd number, it's good. If I touch twice, the good effect will be cancelled. Even number, not good, your child might not get good marks. Guru Maharaj is saying this, and there's a very tiny smile as he's saying this. And he said, okay, let me, and he put both his hands out towards the pen. What would you have done if you had been in that situation? What would I have done, I thought? First, I would not have come a second time. That's a different story. If I had, I would have at least just stood there, because it's Guru Maharaj and he's about to touch the pens a second time. And you know what our friend did? The moment he heard this whole odd number, even number theory, which Guru Maharaj told, he took 2 steps back. Guru Maharaj's hand was like this and he took 2 steps back. He dropped all the pens into the bag, he did this and he left. It's like this, even if God himself is willing to touch and bless. If it meant that it was not such a good thing in terms of the result, I don't want it. Guru Maharaj had such a hearty laugh after that. I thought this is how Mahatmas can also relax themselves, especially with the kind of stress that people like myself bring to his life every single day with the prayers and whatnot. Moral of the story, long story short, is that Guru Maharaj never gets impatient. The God or Guru do not look at it that way at all. It is our right, a birthright to pray and ask because we are his children. I need not be smart. I need not be sincere. I can even be one of those who approaches him only when I have a need, but still I am his child. And when I ask him, this is how God looks at it. This is how Guru Maharaj looks at it. I say that, வேறு யார்கிட்டயோ போய் கை நீட்டாம என்கிட்ட தானே கை நீட்டுறான் சந்தோஷம். He's not stuck his hand out to somebody else. After all, he's asking me. I'm happy about it. This is how they look at it. To them, in that sense, it would occur to me, it's my personal opinion, that there is really nothing called as worldly or spiritual in terms of prayers. Because when it gets associated with them, everything is spiritual. That is really what divinity is all about. So it does not matter. They simply look at this as a manner in which we have connected with them somehow. Any situation that leads us to get that connect is fine. Because after that, the grace will do its work. That connection will do its work. It would slowly refine me. It would enable me to become more mature as a person. And I would slowly progress. It really does not matter if a prayer is trivial or if a prayer is repetitive. It's an association with the Guru and Bhagwan. We think of him at that time. That is really all that counts, and that association will take care of things. This is how they always look at it, and they are full of compassion. But having said that, it does not also mean, I would think, that I need to keep doing this over and over again. I start at this point where I feel the urge to go and convey it to him personally and pray for that relief, even if it is something very trivial. And little by little, I understand that the very fact that I'm here is because of his divine will, and it's not as if I have to go and physically tell him about this for things to happen, and I quietly refrain to my heartful prayers. That maturity comes, and it happens little by little too. I thought, personally, while thinking about the answer to this question, that maybe in addition to the prayers that I repeat to God or the Guru every day, I should also do one more thing, which would be of immense help to me, which would help me to grow spiritually. You know what that is? In this world, if I have to ask something, the question that will be put back to me is, why do you deserve to ask this? What places you in a position where you can ask this? This is a question that anybody would ask, isn't it? I have to say that this is my caliber, or I'm a member here. I have this right because I've done this. I have to show something from my side, some merit, in order to say why I thought I could ask, why I thought I could question. There has to be something. If I have to question, I have to be something also. Likewise, if I were to apply the same to the context of God and Guru and prayers, every time I repeat my prayer, I should also ask myself how I qualify to ask this prayer. What is it that I possess in order to ask this prayer? He never looks at it that way. We've already discussed that very clearly. As far as God or Guru is concerned, Nothing is required. Just the fact that I'm his child is all that is needed, and it's a birthright. That is how he looks at it. And I should remember it also when I make the prayers. But more as a point of introspection for my own maturity and for my own growth, maybe I should think of my shortfalls, think of my shortcomings, think of the many things that I did which I should not have done, and I tell myself that let me climb at least one step higher. Because after all, he is there, and out of so much of compassion, he is ever ready and happy to hear me out. He expects nothing from me. If I do something small that is good, he always appreciates it. But at the same time, he never ever exposes the things that I have done that even I am ashamed of. And he's always willing to listen to my prayers. So what I tell myself when I make a prayer, when I repeat a prayer, is I think of such moments, my shortcomings, and I tell myself that I will take one step from where I am. I will climb one step higher, because then I have progressed too. When I repeated that prayer, I have progressed. I have gotten at least an inch closer to the holy feet of Guru, and that certainly would help me, and it would help my progress. Thank you so much. Sadgurunath Maharaj ki Jai. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Sadgurunath Maharaj ki Jai. Thank you for your patience. Thank you, Singapore Namadwaar, for organizing this.